In the early 1800s, a young couple from the mountains of Tennessee named George and Nancy Smith were married. They moved from Virginia to Tennessee to make a new life for their growing family. They were very happy and within a year they had a baby boy named John. One day, tragedy struck the family. Indians from the Cherokee tribe invaded their land and home. Nancy and the baby John were captured and held captive with the Indian tribe. Nancy was so scared and confused because she didn't know what was going on as it happened so fast. Her little boy was taken from her, and she only saw him one time after that. He was eating a roasted frog's leg while sitting on a bearskin rug in one of the huts. She never did see John after that day. The Indian tribe never gave her a reason for kidnapping her and her son. She was treated like a slave and made to work with other females in the tribe. Nancy learned the Indian ways and culture. One of the major things that Nancy learned to do was to make medicines from plants and herbs that can be found in nature, and how to determine which herbs and plants were best to treat different types of illnesses. One day, back in the Cherokee tribe lands, a young Indian fell from the tree and cut a gash in her leg. Nancy gathered the needed herbs and prepared a poultice that could be used to treat the pain and swelling. She also made a tea for the girl to drink from wildflowers and cayenne to help the pain. Within a couple of days, the little girl was much better and was able to run and play with her friends again. Nancy helped the little girl get better. This made her sad, and her heart ached for her own son. Day-to-day life was hard for Nancy, and she continued to work hard in the hopes of being rescued and returned to her home and family. One night, as the tribal members were dancing around a fire, in a healing ritual, she thought to herself, "I need to escape and get home to my loved ones." She gathered all her courage and shoved the Indian into the fire. With the confusion, she started to run. She ran and ran all night, all the time worried about being captured. When the sun rose, she heard the captors getting closer from behind her. She climbed into a hollow log and stayed there for what felt like hours. One of the Indians even sat on the very hollow log that she was hiding in. Nancy stayed in that log for what felt like days until she knew it was safe to climb out and run for civilization. She ran and ran until she found a home of some settlers who helped her. Her clothes were tattered, her skin torn and scraped, and she was wet as well as tired. Her rescuers gave her food and clothing as well as a place to rest until she was stronger. Within a couple of days, she was much stronger, and she told the settlers that she wanted to go home to Tennessee. However, after returning home, Nancy found that George had remarried and was devastated, but his new wife, realizing that Nancy was his first wife, left without causing a scene. George and Nancy had another son, William, who became very sick. He ran a high fever, had a severe cough, and was covered with a red rash all over his body. Nancy thought about what she had learned and made a tea using herbs and wildflowers, including chokeberries and euthanasia, to bring down his fever and help with his pain. She also made a salve of ginseng and ginger root to help relieve the rash. After a week of using these treatments, William was feeling much better and was acting like himself. The town doctor got word of what Nancy had done for her son and asked her to help in teaching him to use herbs to treat his patients as well. She worked with the doctors, teaching him how to find herbs and plants to create poultices and salves and teas that could help cure patients of illnesses and minor injuries. And that is how our herbal tradition in healing got started.